Today we have the redesigned 2024 Subaru Impreza, and the sedan is gone. Now for the Impreza, it is only hatchback, and we have the brand new RS trim from the 90s. We're gonna take a look at the exterior, the interior, and get it out on the road for a test drive. Let's get started. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the exterior here with this updated design. It's gonna give us a new grille, new headlights, and a broader, more shouldered stance. This RS model in particular is gonna give us some different black finishes like the grille, side spoilers, and side mirrors. We got this brand new grille here. We're also gonna get LED headlights, LED daytime running light, even the LED turn signal here on this RS, and those LED fog lights. And one cool thing about these headlights is that these are even adaptive, so they turn with the wheel. Now the paint color on here, this is bright blue, which looks pretty cool, I think, is Oasis Blue Pearl, and it's paired with 18-inch dark gray alloys. I think this looks very nice. It's a sharp little hatchback. I like the updated design up front as well. Plus you got the turn signal in the mirror and the glossy black mirrors. Dimensionally, this is 176 inches long, and it actually gets a 10% stiffer chassis, which should help us with handling and all of that. Of course, you're going to have all-wheel drive. You've got the same kind of style up front with the headlights like you do with these taillights, just an incandescent turn signal there. But overall, what do you think of the look of this hatch? Now coming to the back, no power liftgate, but it doesn't need one. I mean, most hatches don't, and this is so light, you just pretty much pull that and it pops right up. There's a grab handle up here, and there's good space back here. You're gonna get more space with this at about 20 cubic feet compared to what you'll get with pretty much any sedan, especially small sedans. You've got a couple of little tie downs. You have hooks right here, hook here, and I like this hole so you could actually like hook something on there if you want. Those are on both sides. Plus you even get a tonneau cover, just like you'll see in a lot of SUVs. You can sling it up there to cover up all your gear. But overall, there's definitely good space back here. Now the bummer is there is no spare tire. Underneath of here you have a little storage tray right there, and then under there you get a tire inflator kit, but no spare tire. You could probably remove this foam and put a donut if you wanted to. Then folding the second row down, just pull this, comes on down, boom. And it's actually a flat second row. There's a little ramp into the back, but you'll get about 54 cubic feet with that. And I'll talk about the second row in a little bit in the overall space, but you'd have to consider how much space you actually get with this hatchback. Now this RS will give us the smart key system. You've got your typical lock unlock, things like that, but there's no remote start on the key fob, even though this key fob does feel pretty nice, and this does seem like actual metal instead of a plastic. So the way that this works, on the front doors only, you've got these two lines. You can tap that, mirrors will flash, or you have the sensor in the back. And then, so we take a look at these front seats. So we've got cloth seats with these red bolsters specifically for this RS model. Headrest isn't too firm either. Everything feels pretty good. These seats are actually pretty soft overall. I like that. Good cushioning, but they don't feel, you know, unsupportive either. I think that they're a very comfortable seat. You've got 10-way power adjustment, including 2-way lumbar support. So you've got your height, you've got your tilt, and your lumbar support. And the bolstering, I think, is good in here. This 10-way power option, or 10-way adjustable seat, is an option. The steering wheel is a leather-wrapped wheel, and you've got these red stitching in here for this RS model. You got tilt and telescoping, and it's got a plenty good range of motion. Heated seat buttons are right here by the cup holders. No ventilated seats, no memory settings. Wouldn't really expect it in here or at this price point, but these seats are comfortable, and I have had zero complaints with them driving it a pretty decent distance so far. Now the second row is a little more spacious than you might expect considering its overall dimensions. Right here, this is hard plastic as you probably expect, but then you've got like a cheap kind of plasticky material, but there's still a little bit of padding here and a small bottle holder down there. And you get the same seat design and soft cushy seats back here. Now I'm 5'9", that's where I like to sit as a driver, and this is how much total knee space I have. So I mean, it's enough. I have enough foot space too, even though I have the seat kind of low. You even get 2 USB ports right here, a USB-C and a USB-A, both fast charging. Now with the middle, or with the all-wheel drive, we do get a hump in the middle, so middle passengers probably won't be very comfortable, but overall space is decent. I have that front seat about as far back as I comfortably could while still giving a kid some legroom. You know, car seats, you've got your anchors back here. It works, but it's definitely going to be a little tighter than most. But one thing, in the middle here, we've got center folding armrest. This is nice and soft. and cup holders. If you're looking for air conditioning vents back here, you'll have to rely on everything up front. But I can even sit up tall in here. So adults, it's an adult-friendly back seat despite this being a smaller car. Good cargo space, good legroom for its size. Now let's take a look at the inside. And there are some definite updates, that big screen being one of them. But over on the door, first of all, up here, this is a soft like cloth material. You've got a padded armrest, still kind of plasticky feeling, but it is padded, a good grab handle, and a bottle holder with a little storage. That definitely takes small bottles. My large bottle does fit, but it is kind of cramped. So, I mean, that's still impressive though. Just to the left, you've got your interior brightness control. Let's go ahead and start it up. Push button start, foot on the brake, right there. All the steering wheel controls are pretty easy to access. Your phone controls, music controls, cruise control. You got radar cruise control on here, lane keeping system, your drive modes on here as well, the sport mode being S. And you've got a pretty kind of a basic cluster. You know, I'm totally fine with this, but nowadays we're seeing a lot more digital displays or larger displays. But I mean, this still gives you plenty of information. You've got a little scrolling section up there at the top for trip computer, things like that. But would you rather have something like this, more basic, or a bigger digital display? Let me know below. Then coming over, this is brand new. So this is the new larger vertical screen like other Subaru models. It's 11.6 inches. It's their Starlink system. You have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is a first for the Impreza. So you can see the layout for Apple CarPlay since it's more vertical. You've got a little bit up here that you can scroll through as well. So you can see different information while you still have your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto going if you want to. Down here you've got climate controls. I don't like that a lot of it is built into the screen. You still have temperature control on both sides there, or your defrosters, a volume and tuning knob. But to do more of the temperature stuff, like adjust the fan speed, you still gotta touch the screen, even though it's pretty good size. Hit that home button, it goes to the Starlink menu right here. So you've got different things you can customize and see on here as well. Plus, auto stop start button is there. You can push this little car icon to get to some of your other shortcuts, including your brake hold button, or you can turn off your stop start with that as well. Coming down, you actually get two fast charging USB ports, a USB-A and USB-C, an auxiliary port, and you get this wireless charging mat. This is on the RS trim level. And down here, this shifter's got a nice little boot to it. You've got some already scratched up piano black plastic, not a fan of that. Electronic parking brake, and the cup holders are good size right here too. You've got them staggered, I kind of like that. And you've got a 12-volt power outlet right there. Plus I showed you the heated seat buttons. Then right here, this armrest is actually nice and soft. It doesn't move forward and backwards, but it's actually quite large inside of there too. The glove box from Subaru is not a locking glove box, but it's soft opening and it's actually pretty good size. Overhead standard, we just get a regular manual flipping rearview mirror. Honestly, I like those because there's no section on here that will not block glare. Some of the auto dimming mirrors have a strip where you can't completely avoid the glare. Then overhead, just your basic lights, but we do have a sunroof in here, which is a nice little touch. And one little complaint is, you know, this is pretty common, but the visors don't slide, they just have this little piece. And visibility out of the hatch, not too bad. You've got a pretty big pillar right there, but this window's large, that's large. I haven't had any complaints overall, and I think this is a practical little interior too. One big factor with this RS model is that we get this 2.5 liter boxer engine, so we get more power and more torque. This direct injected 2.5 liter boxer engine from the Crosstrek gives us 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It still has the CVT transmission, which we'll talk about in the test drive. All-wheel drive is also standard. In fact, the all-wheel drive was updated for this year to give you new active torque vectoring. Miles per gallon is 26 city, 33 highway, and 29 combined. All right, y'all, we are now behind the wheel of this Impreza, and this is my first week ever getting a Subaru. In fact, I've had pretty much every other brand and just now got to drive Subaru. And I've got to say, I've enjoyed my time with it. It's a very practical car. I love that they're all-wheel drive. This one with the RS trim level here is even punchier with its bigger engine. I just really only have one complaint about this as we drive it, which I'll talk about. But first impressions is that it just feels like a little fun tossable car. I mean, the steering is easy to move. The auto stop start just turned on, but you can quickly turn that off. The only complaint that I really have is the transmission. Some CVTs are fine, some CVTs kind of stink. This one I think just kind of stinks. It's supposed to be improved, but it's just not my favorite. We'll talk about that as we accelerate though. One note is that we do have a sound insulated windshield here, and we get the same steering rack from the WRX. So should be nice and precise and fun, and it does feel like that. I've got no complaints with this at low speeds or high speeds, and just cruising along in our normal mode. Pedal down. And it's not a very smooth power delivery, so you get a grab right away. You can almost feels like this CVT transmission slips. It's got that bandy effect. This one is pretty bad about it. But one thing to note is this has Subaru EyeSight, the latest Subaru EyeSight. So you've got your radar cruise control in here, we've got the lane keeping system in here, the emergency braking, all the good stuff. We even have blind spot monitoring in here as well. So you've got all the safety tech that you'd probably expect in this Impreza. Let me put us in sport mode. So you've got S drive, SI drive, and you've got the I, or SI drive is the system, but then you've got the I and the S. The S is sport mode, so you're gonna get more power right away. Pedal down. RPMs stay up, and it gets you up to speed pretty quick. I can't compare this to the previous Impreza or even the smaller engine, lower trim level Imprezas because I haven't driven them. But another note about driving is ride comfort. The ride comfort is good. So Subaru said that they did stiffen the chassis here, which should give it a little bit better noise isolation, a little bit better handling overall. It's got a really nice sharp turning radius. Let's go ahead and use these paddle shifters here too. So it's supposed to mimic an 8-speed. Pedal down in first. Second, third. That doesn't mimic anything. Oh my gosh, it didn't do anything. The paddles literally had no effect. And it was kind of jerking and shifting anyways. But that's not what this car is about. It's not a performance car. It's not a hot hatch, regardless of what you might think, considering it's got a bigger engine. It's just a practical, a little bit more powerful version, and it's all-wheel drive. There's just so much to like about the practicality of the Subaru. Handles well, ride comfort is fine. You've got some noise insulation from the windshield. It's not the quietest car around, but in this class and in this price point, it just does everything pretty well. From an ergonomics perspective, I've been very comfortable in this seat. I don't love how touchscreen reliant the climate controls are, but overall, things are easy to use. You still have, you know, your buttons for volume and for temperature control, things like that. It's a simple car, but a nice car. Now, overall, I gotta say, I think Subaru has done a nice job with this Impreza. It's not a standout necessarily, but it just hits a lot of nails on the head. Now to wrap things up on this 2024 Subaru Impreza, you know, I kind of wish that they still gave you an option of a sedan version, but I personally do like this hatchback. You've got great space, you've got a nice practical footprint as well. This RS gives us the 2.5 liter, which gives us more power and more torque and just more fun. The interior is fine, but nothing to write home about. But overall, I think this Subaru Impreza is still a nice car overall. You get that all-wheel drive, decent driving dynamics, decent efficiency as well, and just an overall practical package. Let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much and have a great day.